Welcome to this explainer. We are diving straight into a massive shift in business software today, sparked by a pretty startling July 1st warning from Gartner. If you've been feeling like the software landscape is literally shifting beneath your feet lately, well, you're absolutely right. Today, we're looking at a staggering $234 billion of enterprise software spending that is suddenly sitting squarely on the chopping block. Why? Because AI agents are stepping up to do the actual work. So here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with that $234 billion warning. Then we'll look at the pricing flip from seats to outcomes. After that, we'll hit pause for a quick AI reality check. And finally, we'll build out your brand new software playbook. All right, part one, the $234 billion warning and the enterprise spend that is suddenly at risk. Let's start right at the top with the headline number that literally has the entire tech world talking. Gartner projects that a mind-blowing $234 billion of enterprise application software spending is now officially at risk between now and 2030. That is a massive chunk of change that businesses are currently paying to software vendors month in and month out that is now totally exposed to replacement. To put that number into perspective, that $234 billion represents roughly 20%, or basically one in every $5 of everything businesses spend on application software today. Think about your own monthly software bill for a second. Imagine 1/5 of it potentially just going away. So the absolutely crucial point here is understanding exactly why this money is moving. Gartner calls the mechanism agentic arbitrage. Look, in traditional software, you're the operator, right? You log in, you click through screens, you copy data, you export reports. But with agentic arbitrage, an AI agent skips all of that. It simply reaches across systems and gets the task done directly. The software you were paying to use becomes software you never even open, because the agent is doing the heavy lifting for you. And make no mistake, this disruption is moving incredibly fast. Gartner flagged that apps featuring task-specific AI agents jumped from under 5% just a year ago to a projected 40% in 2026. The on-ramp for this? It's happening right now, this year. 2030 is really just when that massive $234 billion bill finally comes due. Moving on to part two, from seats to outcomes and the pricing flip. Because think about it, when human workers stop sitting inside the software interface, the entire way we buy software fundamentally has to change. For like 20 years, business software has been sold one way, per seat. You have 50 employees? Cool, you buy 50 licenses. The vendor wins when your headcount grows. But AI agents are flipping that model entirely on its head. A vertical AI agent built for a single job doesn't sell you a seat, it sells you the finished work. Instead of buying 50 CRM licenses, you're buying 5,000 resolved support tickets. You're buying the outcome itself, not just the tool to get there. And because of this massive shift, the AI agent market itself is forecast to absolutely explode, jumping from under $8 billion in 2025 to over $50 billion by 2030. That right there, that's the sound of the entire software industry restructuring itself. And listen, this isn't just some hypothetical future concept. Well-funded companies across multiple industries are executing this exact playbook right now. Sierra is selling resolved tickets in customer service. Harvey is selling completed legal work. Hippocratic AI is handling healthcare patient tasks. And EvenUp is generating documents for personal injury law. Every single one of these companies sells completed work instead of a login. Now you might be thinking, okay, this is probably only for massive enterprise companies. But no, it's already at your door. With OpenAI's July 9th launch of ChatGPT Work, this is packaged up for everyone. This agent mode can work in the background for minutes or hours across your Slack, your Gmail, Salesforce, handing even a one-person business a finished spreadsheet or report. The outcome model is now literally bundled into paid plans you might already be using. All right, part three, the AI reality check and the honest limits of all this hype. Before we all rush out and panic cancel every single subscription we own, we really need to balance this loud hype with Gartner's reality check. So here's a pretty sobering statistic for you. Gartner predicts that more than 40% of agentic AI projects will actually be canceled by the end of 2027. Yep, almost half of them are just going to fail. So why is that? Well, these cancellations are going to happen because today's models definitely still have some very real limitations. They struggle with runaway financial costs, for one, and pretty fuzzy return on investment. On top of that, they suffer from weak security guardrails and just can't reliably chase complex, multi-step business goals over long stretches without a human in the loop. If you hand an agent a critical task and just walk away completely, you're probably going to end up right in that 40% failure bracket. Gartner also issues a really strong warning to buyers to watch out for what they call agent washing. You've probably seen this. It's when a vendor simply slaps the trendy word agent onto a super basic, outdated chatbot or macro just to ride the hype wave. To put that into perspective, out of thousands of self-described agentic vendors out there, Gartner reckons only about 130 are actually the real deal right now. Gartner's hype cycle puts us directly at the peak of inflated expectations. And currently, only about 17% of organizations have actually deployed these agents. The takeaway here? This shift is absolutely real, for sure. But you are early. You have the luxury of time to test things out carefully instead of betting your whole business overnight. Which brings us to part 4, your new software playbook and the Q3 action plan. Let's translate all of this fascinating data into a concrete, practical plan for your software budget this quarter. First things first, you need to audit your monthly subscriptions and toss them into 2 buckets. On one side, your systems of record. This is where your customer data, your finances, and core files live. These are sticky, and you are absolutely keeping them. But on the other side, you've got your busy work tools. These are the single-purpose subscriptions that just exist to move data around, format stuff, summarize, or reconcile. These right here are the tools that AI agents can quietly eat up. So here's your 3-step action plan. Step 1, identify just one of those repetitive busy work tools. Step 2, run a test. Literally point an agent at that exact job for 2 weeks and measure the finished output against the real cost. Remember, don't cancel on a promise, cancel on a result. And step 3, use those data points to renegotiate. If a vendor is still pitching per-seat pricing for work an AI can do, you demand outcome-based pricing before your next renewal. You have leverage right now that you simply didn't have last year. The businesses that win over the next 2 years aren't the ones ripping everything out overnight. They're the ones quietly stopping paying for busy work, just one workflow at a time. So I'll leave you with this provocative thought to consider today. As you look over your own monthly software bill, what is the single repetitive subscription you would absolutely love to hand over to an AI agent? And honestly, what's stopping you from testing it right now? Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.